So
That's true.
And on the subject of assumptions, it's possible her connection to the swordsman is also a flawed one. Because again, all we have to go on is Mel and Nellie. Although in Morgana's story, I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines of doing what he did to keep her church running. Was he not referring to this woman?
I should get back down to the courtyard then. Her kind of placid face now is kind of taking on a sort of different reading for me. She's kind of unsettling. Nellie won't be able to handle everything on her own. It would be great if you could help with the preparations too.
1 second. There's absolutely nothing going on between you.
Why can't you just accept the answer I've given you? I don't like being so blunt, but you're really overstepping your bounds. I said there's nothing, and there's nothing.
What do I say? He's bugging me. No. If she leaves now, it won't be easy getting another chance to talk to her. Will I be able to get him to tell me his story without having her on my side, though? Will I be able to get his key?
Maybe you could try talking to him with Mel there. And get you both skewered.
Yeah. Shish kebab.
An idiot shish kebab, in fact. the two of you could together could convince him to give up his key.
When I encountered his shadow in the mansion, he told me that if I had mentioned the key to him in the past, he would have cut my head from my shoulders on the spot.
Then should we try to find the Lord first instead?
I think I'll try to shake her up. Take a leap of faith on there being something between them.
Happy now. I should really get going.
Hold on, just one last thing.
Yes.
Would it be possible for you to grant me access to the observation tower?
The tower? Why?
Because the Lord and his bodyguard are keeping someone imprisoned at the top of it.
What?
They've locked up a girl with miracle blood.
It's not very appropriate to joke about things like that.
I'm not joking. The medicine you're handing out, that's real human blood.
What proof do you have?
I have someone else who can corroborate my story.
And what proof do you have that they're telling the truth?
When you hear what he has to say, you'll know. But the greatest proof is his key.
Sorry, but there's no way I can believe someone's being imprisoned here. Your claims are an affront not only to the good people who give their time, money, and hard work for the church, but to God himself.
Open the door and you can see for yourself.
I can't. I don't have the keys.
And does that not seem the slightest bit unusual to you? Does it not make you think they may be hiding something?
No, because I know that what's being kept in the tower.
You know?
The observation tower is the Lord's personal property. He stores his money and valuables there because a church is less likely to be broken into than his manor. Oh my god.
His money?
I'm sorry. Even thieves fear God. No, they don't. So you can understand why he would want to keep his property up here.
Does that actually make sense, though? If he's so afraid of thieves, surely he can afford to hire guards.
He doesn't like keeping guards around.
Why not?
Haven't you heard? There have been several failed assassination attempts. The Lord is not a bad man. He can just be rather aggressive in his work, which has a tendency to make a man enemies, some of whom want to see him dead. And keeping his wealth at hand only increases that risk. Now are you satisfied?
Insist all you like, but he's not keeping money in the tower. He's gotta...
Are you after the Lord's wealth? Is that what this is about?
What?
Again, I don't like being so blunt, but... Who do you think I'm more likely to believe? The Lord, who has been supporting me and this church, or you, who showed up out of nowhere demanding me open the door?
I'm telling the truth. There's a dying girl in that tower.
I'm sorry, and I don't want to do this, but if you keep this up, I'm going to have to call the guards. I really must be going now.
The swordsman. He helps imprison the girl in the tower, so he could get the money necessary to keep your church up and running. With your help, we could stop this.
Take some time to cool off. Would it have killed her to be a little more open-minded? I really hope she considers the possibility we're telling the truth, even just a little bit.
Is she so defensive because she trusts the Lord that much? Or is her trust in the swordsman? Or maybe it's simply because she doesn't trust me. I think I'll head back to the courtyard. I need some time to consider our next move.
That's a good idea. And there might be something Mel and Nellie can do to help too.
Perhaps. With the nun denying any involvement with the swordsman, and him being so inscrutable, I find myself at a complete loss as to how to go about crossing the wall standing in the way of getting the truth out of him. My mind brings me back to the events of the second door, the most savage of the three tragedies. The things he did then were undeniably inhumane, which makes me wonder if his perspective on these events would have any influence on Morgana's perception of him. If at all, a positive influence seems less likely. Was he man or was he beast? If nothing else, he wanted to be human in the beginning. What was it that he truly desired? If he hadn't been under Morgana's curse, would he have wanted to be the same killer he was? Blinding sunlight drags me from my thoughts, a radiance brighter, more intense than any I've been under today. Or rather, it's probably more my mind interpreting it that way because my eyes can't handle any more. In a matter of moments, all I can see is white.
Michelle? Are you alright?
I feel sharp pain, like someone's yanking at the back of my eyes. I'm fine. I just need some shade. Giselle's voice fades away. From somewhere, I think I can hear her calling my name, but instead of sound, all that reaches me is more pain. Then the world starts tilting toward me. No, not the world. It's me who's falling.
Oh no. Hmm.
I'm not at the mansion. Where am I? Ugh.
Uh-oh. Uh, you're awake.
Morgana, what are you doing here?
Does my appearance disturb you? That is to be expected, I suppose. I am hardly what you would call attractive, after all.
Morgana,
How do you know my name?
how do I know your name? I came to save you. Where is this? Aren't you in the... Uh-huh. What just happened? I tried to say observation tower, and my voice completely disappeared.
Where is this? I'm not sure how you couldn't know. This is the witch's cottage by the lake. I found you unconscious outside my door, so I presumed you came here in search of my herbal medication.
Unconscious. Outside her door. Your arm.
What?
This is before she lost her arm. Does that mean I've traveled even farther into the past? Or could this be... You must get yourself away from this place, Morgana. Better yet, escape to another country entirely.
Where did that come from? I have no means of survival if I leave.
In that case, beware of two men who will come to visit you. You must not open the door for them.
What do you mean?
They're a haired boy and a... Why do I lose my voice for all the most important details? Is this really the cottage by the lake?
Take a look out the window and see for yourself.
There's nothing there. Nothing outside the window. No, that's not exactly right. A reddish-black fog churns beyond the window.
A pretty lake, is it not? Not that I have any place talking about beauty.
Now I understand. This isn't the real world. It is your world, then. Morgana? Or is it a world within our dreams?
May I ask who you are?
I once spent much time at your side. This is also very strange. It was always you who was talking to me. Now you don't even know my name. Shall we talk for a bit, Morgana?
If you're going to try and convince me to leave, I won't have it. And please watch what you say. There's something very unsettling about your choice of words.
As you wish. In that case, let's talk about ourselves. For so long, I fought to fend off the things you said. Not because I had any particular dislike for you, but because I was afraid of how entrancing the sound of your voice was. I empathized with the feelings seething through your words, and that understanding almost allowed them to consume me. There was a mysterious magnetism to your voice, and as emotionally unstable as I was at the time, I couldn't possibly have withstood giving into it.
You're saying my voice is unpleasant?
Not at all. It was beautiful. Frighteningly so. I want to try again. I want you to tell me about yourself, the things you see and feel.
I will not be telling you or anyone else about myself. Because
They would have to be inhuman to empathize with you. In that case, we can start with me instead. Honestly, I don't want to talk about myself either, because it makes me feel pitiful, worthless. It's a story I would rather pretend never happened. And it's not a story I can tell just anyone.
but you can tell me.
Indeed. I was born into this world female. From a young age, being a girl felt somehow wrong, and as I grew older, my body developed like a boy's. Not entirely, though. My body is incomplete. I'm missing one thing every man is supposed to have. The change drove my mother to madness, and she hid me away, for I was unfit to be in the presence of others. That was when I was 14 years old, and that marked the end of any semblance of normalcy in my life. Morgana, you once told me that our fates were decided before birth, for both yours and mine's alike.
Not very talkative, is she?
I spent my whole life rejecting that notion, insisting I was a normal person, fighting to prove I was indeed male. But now that it's all over, I think you are right. My fate was always set in stone. And perhaps if I had stopped trying to fight it, if I had shut up and accepted it, I could have lived a longer life. I could have not left Giselle behind.
Do you regret your choice?
No, I do not. No matter what could have been, I had to hold my ground. I had to keep shouting. Because if I hadn't, it would have rendered my very existence meaningless. No matter what misfortune the decision may have brought, I must not regret it. Everyone has some principle, some belief, some fundamental aspect of themselves that they must always stand in unwavering support of. Or perhaps must not lose sight of would be a better way to put it. For if we do, we lose sight of ourselves. For most people, these beliefs have probably been internalized so deeply they aren't even aware they hold them. But what we carry inside us is unique. Difficult for other people to understand, to accept, forcing us to walk a path of solitude and persecution. I believe you genuinely do have miraculous powers. And who knows, maybe your blood is special too, but I think your real power lies in your voice and its ability to enchant anyone who hears it. But it was something you were born with, not something you asked for. Was it not?
I am a saint and the daughter of God. That is the lot I was given, and that is the path I must walk. If I stray from that path, or stop walking, I will no longer be myself. It would make me worthless. We mustn't lament the solitude we were dealt.
Maybe not, but I think if either of us had had someone, even one person who accepted us, it would have caused us to see the world in a much different light. I know you had people like that, who treated you like a regular girl.
But they're gone now.
And have you never lived on their memory?
It comes back to me from time to time. But even then, they were different than me. They were so full of kindness, so very human. And while they taught me to experience their joy, not even they could change what I ultimately am. I left my humanity far behind far too early in my life. And what about you? Do you have anyone special?
I do.
And do they treat you like a normal person?
She does.
However, you still know that you're different, that you can't fit in with everyone else, that you're abnormal. You do, don't you?
I am very conscious of that fact. That, on a fundamental level, I am still gray. And that so long as I am who I am, that will always be so. Nevertheless, her acceptance allowed me to step onto the path she walked. A path wide enough even for me, despite my abnormality.
You are, I expect, only half right about that. You're a man capable of making compromises, with a spirit strong enough to try to walk the path of humanity, while still being an outsider to it. I could never do that. Someone could be standing there, some ordinary but incredibly kind and accepting person, holding their hand out for me. And I don't think I could take it. Because I know that if I do, it will only bring me more pain. So if I am to take anyone's hand, it must be someone inhuman. Someone fundamentally abnormal. And not just mentally or emotionally, but on a deeper level, intrinsically different.
Morgana.
Maybe you could do it? Maybe you could understand even the tiniest bit of my fate? You could do that, couldn't you? Then do it. Understand me. Empathize with me. Take some of the weight off my back.
I'm crying too now. Morgana. I have every intention of doing anything I can. But you have to understand, I am not from this time, Morgana. I cannot promise you I will be around much longer. So instead, take as much time as you need to find someone who will accept you. And with them, slowly bring yourself back onto the path of humanity. It will not be easy, I know. Constant fear at the looks people give you, dreading the things they think and feel about you. Terrified by the thought that they might abandon you at any moment. The ever-present anxiety about whether you're able to fit in with them. But I know you can do it. I know you can bring yourself back to a place you can love. Like what you had 4 years ago.
You really are. Michelle, you may think talking to my past self can change something, but you're sorely mistaken. Nothing of the girl you see here remains. Poke and prod at the past all you like. It won't change anything, my dear. It's all too far gone to have any effect.
Yeah, you're right, Asmodi, JM. There, I mean, there have been so many moments
Ugh.
in this novel where I've just been like, oh!
Yeah, repeatedly stabbed through the heart. Michelle, are you there? Are you all right? Get up, Michelle, please. Oh, thank goodness you're awake.
Did I pass out?
Ah, you're awake? Are you okay? Did did you hit your head?
Nelly.
You gave everyone a big scare, dear Michelle. All of a sudden you were just on the ground. Were you feeling unwell?
No, I just have a natural sensitivity to sunlight. I apologize for any concern I caused you. Sorry for worrying you too, Giselle. And for that rather shameful display.
No need to apologize. Like you said, you're sensitive to sunlight. I'm just glad you're all right, Michelle. If anything, I should be the one apologizing for putting so much pressure on you. I had no idea it was so bright out.
As long as you're not sick or anything. So you're feeling better now?
My head still hurts a little, but yes, I am fine. What time is it?
Almost supper time.
Ooh, well, yes, thank you very much for swinging on by. We've had very much a similar experience. It's even just like at the end of chapter 1, I could already feel that this was going to shoot right to the top of my favorite visual novels and honestly, favorite games.
It's so rich. Like, oh my god.
Which means I'd better get back to the cottage.
Was I really out that long?
At least you woke up before supper. I should get going, though. See you tomorrow, Michelle.
Good night, Nelly.
She's so cute.
Tomorrow's the day before Morgana's supposed to die. I don't know if you have. I don't know what phone you have, Vap, but there is a mobile version of this game, I believe. Our time is limited enough as it is. It's also going to be coming to the Vita and PS4. That said, Giselle, I saw Morgana.
What do you mean? How?
I don't know if it was in a world of her creation or simply a dream, but in it I spoke with Morgana when she was still alive.
What was she like?
Not like the Morgana we know now, not someone who seems to feed off hatred.
So she really was a saint in life, like Mel described her.
Though I got the impression being a saint was more like a chain around her ankle, the only way she was able to derive meaning from her life. Not to mention the utter sense of solitude brought about by the knowledge that no one like her would ever come into her life.
Do you think she wanted to break free from the chains then?
Even if she were able to, she would never be able to return to anything resembling normal. Much like I will never have a normal body. Although,
Oh, you're awake. That's good.
what, you came to check up on me?
Don't act so surprised. I'm plenty capable of showing concern for others.
It's Valentine's Day. Everyone gets tangerines and Kinder Surprises for lunch.
Oh, Kinder Surprise.
Is that like the Kinder eggs or what is
Yep, that's the Kinder eggs.
that? I get sick and throw up onto my festive shirt. I didn't like it much anyway. Mom did though. Vincent is at the nurse's office too. He tripped and scraped his knee. The nurse is drawing a net on it with green antiseptic. The scrape seems bad, but he's not even wincing, his stare staying blank. Does he feel any pain? Maybe he's actually a robot. I want to ask him that, but my headache is too strong, so I ignore him. All I want to do is go home and watch cartoons in bed. Thankfully, Mom's quick to come to my rescue. Afterwards, I stay at home for a whole week.